Alright then guys, let's do this. Alright. Okay, let's pack the book by side. Getting ready here. Data Central tells me we have 6 people viewing right now. Welcome everybody. So, here I am. How you doing everybody? Hi there. We are back live for the second live practice card magic jam session here on OTHMARIUS MAGIC. I worked my ass off the last 2 weeks to get the quality, audio as well as video quality, back on track. Because when I reviewed the last stream, I was media core hardcore shocked because the microphone was so distorted. That was absolutely insane. I had problems with this microphone, which I bought especially for the live stream, and a USB mic with distortion. I had problems with distortion from the very beginning, and then I dropped the mic 1 or 2 times too many, because that's what I'm a super pro in, dropping the mic, you know. I'm a mic dropper. I'm writing my own jokes, you know. And then the microphone went down for good, so the audio was terrible. I apologize guys. So now I fixed that. I'm now using my Elvis Presley microphone, which I've been using since I started here uploading on YouTube all the time. It's a very decent microphone, and I got an interface with an analog 3-band equalizer as well as a compressor analog right there at the entrance signal, so the sound should be super crisp. Joshua, welcome. Schlin, welcome guys. Thanks for tuning in, that's awesome. So we're up to 10 viewers right now. That's amazing. So many people. We had a great time last 2 weeks ago. When was it? I don't know. And we keep on doing that, you know. If there's any troubles with the sound or with the quality, just let me know via the comments, and I try to fix this here right away. Also, you should listen to some neat background music. It's some live stream going down here on YouTube. I decided to use as a little, you know, atmosphere in the background. Right. So next to the audio quality, I did quite some changes with the video quality, because right now, guys, you are viewing me with a Logitech C920, I believe, and I bought this webcam especially for shooting my hands, and then it turned out that it didn't work that well. So I was wondering, what am I going to do? And then I decided to use my DSLR camera. I have a Canon 7D, which is a pretty decent piece of equipment, into a webcam, which was a really crazy workaround. And I fixed it, I made it, and now we have this beautiful, you guys should see my hand super crystal clear in, I don't know, 720p or something. There's only one trouble with the camera. It shuts down every 30 minutes or something, so there's going to be no signal silent. So don't panic if that happens. That's just normal. Yeah. So today we're going to talk about the importance of shuffling cards in card magic, and we're going to take a look at the probably the most common, most popular ways of shuffling the cards: the Overhand Shuffle, the Faro Shuffle, the in-hands or in-air Riffle Shuffle, and the Faro Shuffle. This is not in-depth tutorials stuff or something. It's just, you know, going over some details. Like always, everything you need to really catch up on, it's there in the info cards. Where is it? There, somewhere there, the info cards. You know, if you click there, you will find the whole tutorial series where I have all my tutorials organized. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. No signal, guys. So that's what I got to do now. I got to, you know, get back on track here and push this button, and we're good to go. Yeah, that's a little bit confusing, but nonetheless, that's the best I can do, and I hope it's working. reviewing the last live stream, I was having mixed feelings because I was kind of all over the place, you know, and I enjoyed this very much actually, and because that's how I want it to be, you know. It's a live stream, it's interactive with you guys, and so yes, we can do whatever we want to do. You're right. However, I was thinking I try to organize it a little more. You know, at least I try here for the second episode of this live jam, and also I decided to kind of sum up what happened in the last episode. So I watched and listened to my distorted sound. I mean, and I wrote something down here in my magic book, and I hope it's the right book now. Let me see where this is. Okay, here I got it. Snazy, the multi-angle views are snazy. I never heard that word before. So let me give you this here. Let me show you here my book, and here. So I got here a couple of points written down here. And the first one was respect the art form. I was talking about respecting the art form, and I don't want to go much in detail about that into this topic today, but I think thinking about it, this might be actually something to really to make a whole video on it, maybe, or one single live stream devoted to the importance of respect, respecting what you do, yourself, other people and stuff. It's really important aspect of basically everything, and therefore also important for card magic. Now the second major point I found was to be aware of or to be self-conscious about your practice time, about your practice habits, about the choices you make, and to be aware about the progress you make. So that was something I talked about. And then the third aspect was never too much and never too little, and also that building a solid foundation is very important. So these were the five main things that came up in the last session. So I'm really curious what's coming up next. Now today, talking about shuffling, it's pretty much again the same thing. It's part of building a solid foundation. It's really important. I guess shuffling cards is one of the most fundamental, most basic aspects of the whole art form. It is very much explained in the Royal Road to Card Magic, how important that is. I tried to find some nice quotes here, but I had a super busy day and I really couldn't prepare that. So nonetheless, you guys probably know this book, and if you go into these chapters here, for example, the Overhand Shuffle or the Riffle Shuffle or the Faro Shuffle, it's said basically the same thing in different ways here. That the key element for good card magic is that the spectator is convinced of the cards being fairly shuffled. So shuffling is super important. And I do practice shuffling a lot. As a matter of fact, every morning or every practice session, I start practicing shuffling cards. I believe you can't practice this enough, basically. What about you guys? Before we're getting started here, are you practicing shuffling cards? And if yes, so what shuffles are you practicing? Schlin, everything looks and sounds great. That's amazing. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, if the technique works, now it's just up to human failure. So let's get a deck of cards out. And let's start shuffling a little bit. So I usually start with the Overhand Shuffle, which is a in the so-called Western hemisphere, probably, where is it? I wanted to have this one here. It's probably the most common way of shuffling cards. And the key or the practice goal is to have this super duper under control. You really have to have this shuffle under control, and then you need to get it kind of loose or sloppy, because people have an expectation when they're looking at someone handling the cards, and you just don't want to handle them too well. But of course you want to have this, what you do, absolutely under control. So this is quite a practice journey. Overhand shuffle, absolutely fantastic. I love this very much. It's a lot of fun to do. That's the first one. We're going to talk about a little bit in detail. The second one, of course, is the Hindu shuffle, and it's this one. And by the way, for the Hindu shuffle, the tutorial I've got up and running on my channel for the Hindu shuffle, even if you know the shuffle already, if you don't really need a tutorial on this one, you should check it out, because it's an insane tutorial. I don't know what I did there. It's completely out of space. Just check it out. And you say, really? What's wrong with this guy? I'm using a computer voice there, and I have some, I have a space theme going on. So the Hindu shuffle, absolutely super important. And I'm always saying this when I'm using the Hindu shuffle, that this is probably the most used shuffle in the world, because it's what the folks use on the Asian continent, and that's where the most people live on planet Earth, you know? And all people always like, oh, that's interesting. And a lot of people never saw this shuffle, actually, from my experience, here where I'm in Germany at least. And then, of course, we have the in-hands or in-air Riffle Shuffle, this beauty here. Ooh, it's a really nice shuffle. Here, I dropped a card. Did you see that? It doesn't matter. It's just practice. And this is a beautiful way of shuffling cards. And laymen really enjoy this. I literally had once a guy screaming out, "Did you just shuffle the cards in the air?" And say, "Yes, I did that." Looks like this. Wonderful. Also with this a bridge flourish or waterfall flourish, it's awesome. And it also sounds really cool. And then, yes, last but not least here, we got the Faro Shuffle. And Faro Shuffle is also, it's such a cool thing. And I always, when I practice this, practice the giant fan. That was shitty, but something like that, Also for laymen, very exciting. And then you shuffle them like this or something. Faro Shuffle is extremely cool. Now, I don't use it so often, for now at least, in performances. Although there are some really, really impressive feats of card magic based or built around the Faro Shuffle. Absolutely cool thing. Absolutely cool shuffle. Here's a little story I want to tell you guys. Happened to me just today. Again, I was outdoors. It was Sunday. It's a Sunday here on a market fair where I'm selling artworks of my girlfriend. And sitting there watching the people pass by practicing cards. Some guy passed by and said, "Well, what are you doing?" Practicing cards. He said, "Show me something." So I went for ambitious card with a center double lift, pulled it out nicely, everything's fine. And then when I tried to turn the cards over, I dropped them, so they fell down. And then he said to me, "You need more practice." I was thinking, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do when I come home. So let's read your comments. Sep 31415, I'm still working on the Overhand Shuffle. I like the practice routine pointed out in the Royal Road, and then still trying to work on the Faro Shuffle. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Fair enough. We're going to talk about that. If you have any specific questions on these techniques, just hit the keys. Today. A couple of days ago, someone wrote a comment on the video on the Overhand Shuffle, and he made a very important remark here, and I just want to show you. Okay, Joshua is laughing his ass off for whatever reason. Okay, so the most important thing when it comes to the overhand shuffle is the difference between running single cards and shuffling packages. Okay, so if you're shuffling packages, it looks something like this. And if you're running single cards, looks something like this. Okay, should not be a difference for the spectators. And usually, if you mix this up, running packages, running, the eye doesn't really catch up on this, and spectators don't care so much at all. They're pretty satisfied if you pull off a decent shuffle. But they are more easy to satisfy than you might believe, actually, which is a good thing. And by the way, there's something to calm us all down, because we live now in an age where we are all getting more used to work with cameras, and it's a huge difference pulling something off with a camera burning and pulling off something for the human eye. And I always realize that when I start shooting a performance where there's a certain sleight in it, and then I think, yeah, it's not gonna problem. I just shoot this this performance, and then I upload it, and everything's fine and nice because I know how to do it. And then I turn on the camera and then I perform it, and I think, oh, dude, you are flashing so hardcore. You suck so bad. It's super frustrating. And then you know, and then at a certain point you realize, yeah, it's just a different thing, you know. And so working with the camera is pretty amazing, but especially if you're not a guy who's aiming for big time television performances, you know, and doing real close up, you know, improvised just for you know, just on occasion or something, you know, you are getting away with a lot of you know, flashy work, and that's it doesn't mean that you shouldn't try to reach the best results when it comes to your handling, but you do not need to be super stressed about some things. And I'm just telling this because this comment says there's, okay, here's the difference. The difference between running a packages or running single cards here, that's the position of the thumb, okay? So if you run a package, you pick up basically like a package here, and then you keep on doing this, you know, with the keynote that the right hand is doing actually the shuffling motion, and the left hand is just, you know, controlling what is going down with the thumb. So if you want to run now single cards, you only have to move your thumb downwards, okay, to the middle of the card, or on top of the card, and then you can run single cards, and that's the only difference. Now in the tutorial I've got up and running, I am explaining this to position the thumb at the center of the back of the cards, and then the guy in the comments writes, yeah, this is to way down, you know, it should be just at the same position like running packages, you know, and that is kind of true, but this is like the now you got it perfect, you know. If you reach that level where you work on such crazy details, that's something else. That's like that's really camera work, because usually when because I never thought about it, because it was never an issue, you know. So when I'm shuffling cards, you know, now right, what did I do here? So I'm shuffling cards like this, okay, and you tell me, am I running? Is it packages? Am I running? Can you even see that? Okay, so it really doesn't matter, although it does matter in the sense of you really got to be aware, or to understand what it is, what is the detail, and especially what's the detail in your hands that makes it work and makes it flow for you. And it's a really important part of the of the learning aspect. So right positions of both hands. Right hand is doing most of the work, and the thumb is controlling everything. And then you start shuffling and practicing. Here we go. Does anybody has to say something about what I just said? Oh, hey, somebody's new in. And by the way, hopefully you all got your cards out and you all are practicing, okay? Because we want to make this not only quality time, but quality time. Yeah, am I right? So, I have now 16 people watching. Everybody watching, wherever you're watching from, no matter how old you are, if you're a bloody beginner, advanced, dead serious, badass, professional. I don't really care. I'm happy you're here. I hope you enjoy the watch. I hope the quality is awesome, because I worked so hard to get it real crisp, you know. So, Overhand Shuffle. Now the Royal Road to Card Magic, and I'm sticking a little bit here with the Overhand Shuffle, is amazing. It's the first chapter in the book, really explaining this in detail and giving you a handful of false shuffling techniques with the Overhand Shuffle. And the Overhand Shuffle is such an incredible tool. So every minute, every second you spend practicing this shuffling technique is worth its time. Trust me, you can do so many things with the Overhand Shuffle. It's insane. You can control top stocks, bottom stocks. You can basically set the deck up in front of a spectator with this shuffle. And by the way, that's the interesting aspect here. Secret, you know, when a magician shuffles cards, he's doing the opposite of shuffling cards. Yeah, it's true. So whenever I see a magician shuffle, I don't see what false shuffle he used. I don't know what exactly is happening there, but I know something's happening there. So you know, how you say, hearts cross or something. You can't fool a magician with shuffling, you know, because every magician knows what shuffling is all about, you know. But laymen don't. We're all glad they don't. I can demonstrate. Yeah, well, okay. Let's go for a working deck here. Let me try something, and let me hint you to a trick, because that's what's I'm so sorry guys, I got this panel not under control. Here, the Royal Road to Card Magic, it got here some absolutely fantastic tricks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 amazing card tricks. So my working deck here, really worn out cards already. And let me show you this. It's a standard bicycle deck, okay? So I can just shuffle these cards, okay, for once. By the way, when you perform magic tricks, you do not emphasize the action of shuffling. Of course, now I'm doing this since we're talking about this, but you wouldn't actually do this in a performance. You do this casually, you know, en passant, so to say. Yeah? And then we cut the cards maybe here, and we have a nice deck of cards. And then now, if we were in a live interaction, not an online live interaction with the chat room, but a real interaction, I would ask now, you know what? I would ask Zap315 to cut the deck fairly in half, and then he would cut the deck fairly in half, and because he's a pro, that is almost even. There's just 1 or 2 cards difference here. Doesn't matter. Important is it's your choice, okay? And then we have Guitar Monk. You go and you cut that package now, please. And Guitar Monk goes and cuts this package here, right there, all right? And then we have another guy here. Let's go away. Whatever. We have the man whose name I can't read. I don't even know what language this is. What is it? Anyways, welcome, very welcome. Awesome, you're tuning in. Okay. You cut this deck, please, now. This pack here in half. So, and we have this done. All right. And now I would go with the same set of guys like you, and I would give you the clear instructions. I would tell you to take one pack, whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Take any pack and deal 3 cards onto the empty spot and 1 card each onto the other packs. Okay. And we're doing this another time. And again, 3 choices here. You guys decide what's happening. 3 cards, however, always onto the empty slot, and 3 cards onto the pack, okay? And with the last pack, it's the same thing. 3 cards onto the empty spot, and then 3 cards onto the packs, okay? And it's here we're in a situation, if this is live, and if you do this with layman, it's just fair enough. I'm always saying, guys, completely shuffled deck. You cut the cards. Random. Didn't even do anything. You did it. And we got this crazy result at the end of them 4 aces on top of the deck. Okay? Isn't that a nice trick? That's a poker player's picnic. It's one of the first tricks you learn in the Royal Road to Card Magic. And believe it or not, I'm doing this so often. I love this so much. It's a very important thing. It's something I want to share with you beginners there. Magic does not have to be difficult. Okay, it's difficult enough to get these basic things down, as you are learning or practicing how to do an overhand shuffle right now. But if you give it time and you're getting better, you get there, and the tricks you can do with this, they are super, super powerful. Blows layman's minds completely away, these 4 ace productions here. And yeah, if you read the Royal Road to Card Magic, there's different ways to do this. You can start with the 4 aces on top, and then you keep the top stock. You can have the 4 aces on top of the deck, and then you can shuffle them second from the bottom. That's what it's called. So you got random card at the bottom, 4 aces, and then you reverse this motion. Yeah, you can do what you want. You got a lot of options. For any one of you who does not know this trick, it's on my channel. I believe I also linked it in the info cards. I have a tutorial for the 750 subscriber special back in the days when my channel didn't even have 1,000 subscribers, and it was fun. And this tutorial is a little bit older, of course, but it still stands today. In the explanation, I'm covering the most important points there. So if you're interested to learning this trick, go out, check this video, but not now, because we're not done here yet. You right? Yeah, it's a very nice. I like this one too. It's a very nice one. But I'm not going into more crazy madness here, because I'm telling you, I tried to work with this camera angle here, and I was flashing all the time. Here's another nice trick, for example, that features shuffling. How do we do this? So basically, let's try. Okay, I'm super bold here. I don't know. Maybe this really goes bananas, but you have a spectator select the card, any card, okay? And this is completely fair. It's a 6 of spades here, and all I do, I'm bringing the 6 of spades right there in the center of the pack. That's where it is, okay? It's right there. Now, I already showed you the overhand shuffle this way here, yeah? This baby, completely shuffled. 6 of clubs it was, 6 of clubs, I'm sorry. And then we have the Hindu shuffle. That's how folks shuffle on the Asian continent. But, guys, do you know how a drunk guy shuffles cards? Where am I? Here, a drunk guy. Do you know a drunk guy shuffles cards? Looks something like this. Takes the cards, mix them all up in all directions. It's totally insane. This happened to me once. Just a drunk folk took the cards out of my hands, pulling off this move. So I end up with a deck where I have cards face down, I have cards face up, I have cards in literally all directions, okay? And then I am lost, right? However, if I add a little magic, and if I wasn't flashing too bad here, for you guys who know the secret, you're going, I saw that. I'm going like 1, 2, 3, and then you will find that all them cards reset themselves, all right? Except for this one card here in the center. That was your selection, right? Isn't that cool? Isn't that a cool trick? I love this so much. I'm doing this very often also. A triumph with the so-called sloppy shuffle. It melts their minds. It melts their brain. It's a brain killer. It's awesome. And it's really not so hard to do. And I enjoy performing this a lot. It's also a relatively easy trick. It's also there in the Royal Road to Card Magic. And as you can see, so I don't know if it's explained with the Hindu shuffle or with the overhand shuffle here, but you know, you can pull this off in different ways. You do not need to do both shuffles. You can do just one shuffle, and then you do the sloppy shuffle. It doesn't really matter. And also, of course, I was using now here a certain control, but of course you can use shuffling, especially the overhand shuffle, to control cards. So with the overhand shuffle and in addition the Hindu shuffle, you get all the material you need, you know, to perform stunning tricks. Once again, just for you beginners out there, you know. Don't stress out. There's so many things, and sometimes you don't even know what to choose, and it feels so frustrating sometimes. You're like, Jesus, man, how do I get there? How do I get there? So many things I have to learn. It's not so many things you have to learn. It's many things you can learn, and you will learn if you build up the basis. And shuffling cards with this basic shuffling techniques. That's one hell of this is important. This you gotta do. You can miss out on that one. You can miss out on a lot of things, but not on that one. So now I want to hear nothing but, okay, somebody has problems with the internet. That's frustrating, I know. Okay, I didn't flash. Very nice, awesome. That's good. That's good. So I got away with it. And here's another thing I just want to share with you. And I'm going to say this probably in every session we have. You know, be bold. Okay. Don't be scared to get busted or to make a mistake or something. Don't do that. It's the worst mistake. You know, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Most people are super kind. If you go out and it doesn't work, they go like, hey, nobody, you need a little more practice, no problem. And they appreciate the effort, you know, more than anything. And it's really cool. And if you proceed and you're getting better, and then you have your first successes, your consciousness, you know, grows, and the whole thing becomes more and more fun, and practicing becomes, you get more motivated to practice, you know. Don't stuck in a trap to practice and, you know, to always want to make it better and better and better, and never go out and actually try what you do. That's very important. Running my trailer so far. I'm gonna do this right now, and when I come back, I want to share something pretty cool with you guys. It's a web browser that has a ad blocker built in, and you know, I don't know, a firewire or something, so all the spyware and the trackers and bots are blocked. And this browser called Brave is super slick, is super extremely fast. So I really want to recommend you guys checking this browser out, because also, and this is a cool thing about it, it offers a solution to the problem of you know, content creators getting paid for their content. I can't really go much into detail here, and I really didn't understood it myself so much, but it's there is a built-in payment system that comes with the browser, and it uses a cryptocurrency. And the idea is that you can choose which content creators or which websites you're viewing getting cryptocurrencies automized, and you decide how much you wanna pay a month. You wanna have you know, shared out equally according to your browsing behavior, to your content creators, and the thing needs to get running in the first place. So the world needs to accept this great idea, and they try to do this right now by offering content creators kind of a download link. So if you use this link that's in the info cards and you try this browser for 30 days, I get $5 or some, I don't know, if maybe it's 3, I don't know, some money in this cryptocurrency. And when I use this browser then, and I watch my favorite YouTubers and other content creators, and they use the same platform, the same browser, then this money gets transferred to them. So it's a really cool idea, and I just want to give it a try, and I hope this thing, I hope the world receives it well. And so check it out. There's no strings attached. You know, you don't have to pay anything. You just download this browser, you give it a try, and if you love it and you stick with it, It's gonna be awesome. You can decide if you want to watch ads or not. This is really amazing. Okay, having said that, the other thing I want to share with you guys is that I just started setting up my Patreon just to tease you a little bit, and I'm really thinking about. I'm watching the wrong camera all the time. I'm so sorry. I'm such an idiot. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Look at this. Now everything falls apart. Okay, you see that? Camera shut out. I'm talking like an idiot into another camera. That's when you run a one-man show. You know, there's nobody, you know, waving a red flag saying, "Wrong camera, wrong camera." Yeah, setting up my Patreon and thinking about rewards. What can you do? What would be interesting? So if you have any ideas how I could set up my Patreon, if you know, something maybe you wanted to see from me that doesn't really fit into YouTube or something, just let me know. I'm really open for ideas. Anyways, I'm doing this, and this is going to air probably in 2 or 3 months. After in July, August or something. Because it's a busy time right now, and there's gonna be a little bit of holiday season for me, and also I want to shoot some tutorials and doing this live streams here, so you know it's. So I have okay streaming quality, 29 people watching. Guys, are you there? Who's there? Hit the keys. Are you watching on your mobile? Probably a lot of people watching mobile lately. So let me turn the camera on again. And then let's get back into business. So let's take a short look at the Hindu shuffle. Now the Hindu shuffle, there's it's most important keynote, and again I've got an in-depth tutorial explaining everything. But the longer I use the shuffle, the most important keynote is the position of the thumb. You will see this very often performed like this, you know, with the thumb upright, something like this. And I found that it's much more elegant, and although unusual, unfriendly, or uncomfortable at the beginning, to keep the thumb aligned with the left long side of the cards. So as your second phase, you pick up the cards from the top with your second finger and with the thumb, but the thumb aligned. So this is this grip here, and this makes things a bit easier. Also, I'm coming into the hand with a little diagonal or something like this, because I use my pinky here at the corner to support the grip. And for a long time I really opened up, closed down, open up, close down, open up, close down while I performed this, because I like to go really wide and have long open motions, so that the cards are really falling in. People really seeing the cards falling in, and I was dropping cards a lot, man, a lot. So I figured out, okay, I need to secure the cards with my pinky here, but then with the pinky in play, it becomes uncomfortable, and so I've got this, I don't know, and this is something I developed for myself, and probably it's out there in some book or something. I should have read before, but it took me a long time to go there. So I'm coming in this position, and the pinky kind of is almost immediately there, you know, to secure the cards. And then the Hindu shuffle is also very similar to the overhand shuffle, in the sense of that one hand, in this case the hand that pulls the card out, is doing the main motion. Of course, you can add a little rotation motion to the right hand, and I've got this explained in detail from a better view, so you get this nice, you know, vibe. This is a circular motion of both hands, and looks really damn good. And although you pull off these many motions, you know, if you get them groovy, still you can control cards very well with the shuffle, or even force cards. You know, let's say the Queen of Hearts is there on top of the deck. So I pull out the cards of the deck and I start shuffling the deck, and I just keep on shuffling the cards. And let's say here we have a round where I want you to say stop at any time. You have the spectators stop you at any time, and guess what? We got the Queen of Hearts there. Okay, so this is also a shuffle that is really useful. It comes with a lot of applications, and one beautiful little how you say, gimmick. It's just a little beautiful thing. Turn a whole deck, you know what they do with the Swingati deck, like it's all different cards, you know. However, if you watch closely, it's all the same card, okay? It's all the three of no, you're flashed. All the three of hearts, you know where this is going, up to the very last card. But if you look closely again, it's all different cards. No, you know, that's how you roll with this. Beautiful. It's beautiful, because of course you don't use this as a you know, to impress the crowd with your magical powers, you know. A lot of people, of course, don't fall for it and realize what's happening, that you're always showing the same card from the bottom. But people, you know, if you play it well, people really love this. It's like, hey, you said it's a nice try, and it's a lot of fun. So there's something you can bring up anytime and have a lot of fun with your audience. You know, it's nothing special, but something very valuable, something very funny. You know, never underestimate your audience. It's the biggest, also something you should not do. You know, people are not stupid, and you never know whom you're performing to, or actually what the person knows that's in front of you. Sometimes they might even be triple as smart as you are, you know, because they are PhD in psychology, and and they can tell that you're nervous. Just kidding, you know. Okay, nobody's commenting here. What is going? You're practicing, right? You're practicing. That's very nice. Yeah, I like to combine the overhand shuffle with the Faro Shuffle a lot. It's my favorite shuffling techniques, and this is something you just saw. This still happens to me, and it pisses me off every time it happens to me. It annoys me totally. So, short recap: difference between running single cards and packages. The thumb controls it, so that you basically, if you have an ace at the bottom of the deck, you can shuffle all the cards, and then you just run the ace to the top of the deck, and then you have the ace on top of the deck, and it's not the freaking ace. Okay, let's fix this by the means of magic, and that flashed like hell. Okay, now you all know the secret. Okay, happens. It's a bad camera angle for doing this. I gotta fix the camera angle. So let's walk to the next let's jump or hop to the next shuffle, the in-air Riffle Shuffle. It's a beautiful shuffle. It's a beautiful shuffle. Again, I've got an in-depth tutorial up and running on my channel. And I also just, because somebody asked me in a comment to specify a certain problem here, how to get this running or this rolling motion over the cards pretty well, and I explained this in this special tutorial, that you have this grip here, and you take your other hand and then you roll with your thumb over the cards like that, and of course you mirror this motion, you know, and then you gotta work your way to be able to do this with both thumbs in one hand like this, and then you have the cards interlaced one by one. Thumbs go on here on the top, bend the cards, index goes out, other fingers go out, release pressure, and the cards start falling down. Okay, both hands are busy shuffling cards. How should I type? Thanks for the comment. This is super cool. It's super cool that you guys are practicing right now. That's quality time. I love it. It's amazing. Yeah. And there are actually two insane ways to completely false shuffle, blind shuffle with the in air or enhanced riffle shuffle. And I'm honest with you guys, I know these techniques, but I never tackled them. It was one of the things that I'll do that later. This is freaking annoying. It's used by full end, high end super pros, best of the best. And because they are very deceptive, also because of the sound they make, these false shuffles, very powerful tools. For the normal player, I'd say it's fair enough just to, let's say, control the bottom or the top stalk with this. At that point, laymen don't care much anyways, because they just love looking at this. It's just a beautiful way, and I really like doing this. So if you want to impress some people, if you want to show off a little bit, never show off too much, but just a little bit, this is absolutely cool. Yeah. Oh, what did I do here? Love this very much. And by the way, the setup I've got here going now is what I will use to shoot a tutorial series on table work, with some nice cuts and the table riffle, and of course the ribbon spread, and dealing cards. It's gonna be an awesome tutorial series. It's in the making. I've planned this for a long time, but it just wasn't equipped enough by means of technique, and I just was ready to go for this. Because for now, I used to shoot with one camera, and I always switched the settings, and it was a lot of work. It was annoying, you know, too much work for then one video, and I just tried to keep my get my workflow more efficient. You know, that's what I'm working on here, very hard. Don't you worry, I will keep uploading as frequently as possible for me, my stuff. And this tutorial series here is just the beginning. Yeah, I've got big plans for my channel in the future, and I'm super thankful and super excited for you guys, all of you guys tuning in right now. This is 40 people watching right now, 41, and this is so much more people than last time. So the words get out, I wonder. So we're here with the right now with the enhanced or in-air riffle shuffle. So we already talked about the overhand shuffle a little bit. We talked about the Hindu shuffle a little bit. We talked a little bit about the enhanced or in-air riffle shuffle. And now it's time to take a look at the Faro Shuffle. Faro Shuffle. Wow, the Faro Shuffle is awesome. It's just awesome. And there is actually a video for some of you. It will not be able. You will not be able to watch it because it's, I don't know. I use Iggy Pop. In Iggy Pop song in this video. It was the first video I ever uploaded on YouTube. It's called Shitty Shuffling. So you go on my YouTube site, and then you first video ever uploaded. that was when I started practicing the Faro Shuffle. You're gonna enjoy that. Really trashy. Faro Shuffle. Again, I have also a tutorial up and running for this one. You find it info cards in the tutorial series, 4 rocking ways to shuffle like a pro. One of my most successful videos so far, but also a video that gets a lot of dislikes. I don't know why. People are like, nah, I don't like that. I don't know why, but a lot of people like it, so it's okay. You know, you can't please everybody. So and as I recall this, for me, the most important realization about the Faro Shuffle is that you're actually not really using force here, you know, by the means of really trying to get the cuts interlacing. It's the tension you build up of the cuts themselves by you know, having them in, what's the angle here? You know, by having them, by pressing them against each other, the short sides, and then you have to find this moment when this pressure releases itself, and then the cards, they start just jumping into one another. And I realize this camera angle is really shitty for this. Let me where am I? Because I'm doing it like this. There's another version doing it like this. Let me try, but I never tried this. I can't do it like that. So, see? Teaching live. Okay, I gotta get up. Where's the camera? So, it's this motion here. Yeah, and the cards come in. It wasn't sharp. Let me try this again. Now it's getting silly. The body position I have here right now is insane. Okay, I just want to show you this position here. This thing, it's happening. Yeah, that was nice. This one. The key to this is the cards themselves. It's the tension of the cards that do the job. You know, when they jump off their edges, because the cards are like this, and then it's the tension of the cards, and they go boop, 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 boop. Okay, that's what's happening, and that's you gotta figure out. So the key to it is actually balance, not power. It's balance. You know, find the right balance, and then this starts working, and then the Faro Shuffle becomes something very, very cool, something absolutely enjoyable. And as I said before, I always use this. I try to practice the giant fan here. That was not so good. So again, my hands are sweaty now. It's a nice summer day. I need another deck of cards, and I don't want to use my other cards. My favorite deck of cards right now. There was a deck giveaway. Somebody won these cards. I think it was 3,000 subscribers, 3,500 subscribers. That giveaway, and now I just don't want to mess with these sweaty hands. This will just frustrate me, so I put them away too. And I come out with another deck, which I never believed I would ever hold in my hands. Okay, so let's play the trailer one more time, and then I tell you this story. OTHMARIUS MAGIC. Like and subscribe. Okay. I set my OBS up, and I don't have the panel under control. Can we expect false deal tutorials in the future? I'm not quite sure, honestly. I have to think about this, because this is really valuable, and it's really important. And this really goes. This is like, Are we stepping here to the edge of what I would reveal on YouTube? Not that it's not out there, okay? Everything's out there, but what I want to do. And maybe I was thinking maybe I can do something on Patreon there. Like a walkthrough of the that's a nice idea, for example, for I don't know, for patrons, if you care, for $1 or $3 a month, and then we do like false shuffles, Overhand Shuffle, Road to Card Magic walkthrough. That would be nice. That would be an idea. Here's the thing, on YouTube, this is something really, you know, if you get this working for yourself, this is something I'm working on a day. It's really precious. It's really, really precious. And yeah, I need to think about it. I hope this answered your question. So can we expect false deal tutorials in the future? If yes, very limited, you know, just with a hint, but I'm not sure. I hope you're not disappointed. I hope I don't lose you as a subscriber now. No, it's just important. It's just it's so important. But if you use my tutorial on the Overhand Shuffle, and also there are also other great tutorials, but my tutorial is goes pretty in depth there. And you got the Road to Card Magic, dude. There's actually nothing. You don't need another tutorial or something. I mean, because It's the same technique. It's the same handling. It's everything the same. It's just to run cards a little differently at a certain momentum, and you just gotta practice this momentum, and then you're done. So you know, actually no need for that. You know. Yes, I think so too. Or maybe exclusive live sessions. But we shouldn't talk about this here right now because the spies are listening, and somebody else steals the idea. It happens, especially on YouTube. Okay, so what did I want to share with you guys? Because because the fuck you playing cards they came with the post. I couldn't believe it, and it's a really nice story. I'm not gonna tell it. It was a frustrating story at first, and then it turned into a nice story. Actually, now this is a deck with it's the deck I have with the most emotional attachment to it. It's really funny, and it at the end of the day it delivered the fuck you so much that it's seriously amazing, and it is a cool deck of cards. It handles very well, and the design is a little silly, I admit, but the cards they handle very well. So you can have one. Joshua wants one. You can have one because the 4K subscribers, the 4K subscribers special is just around the corner. It's like 50 more subscribers. My channel hits 4K, and then I will make a deck giveaway as a celebration. And I'm giving the second one I've got out. And I would tell you exactly the story why this deck is so special to me. And yeah, and the lucky winner wins one then. Isn't that great? Isn't that a great idea? So this is probably in the next video I will upload here on YouTube. Yeah, the 4K subscriber special. Man, guys, it was a long way until today, but it was so much fun also. And I just have the feeling we're just getting started. We are just getting started. Okay, so now I have really sweaty hands. So let's get rid a little bit of the moist. There was a comment the other day. Somebody asked me, what do you do when you have dry or wet hands? Do you use powder or any creams? And I totally don't think you should use any of these supplements. Here's my thought process. Except you're an extreme case, okay, and basically you have clouds underneath your palm and it's raining there constantly, or you have so dry hands that you cannot hold any object because you just can't hold it. There's no contact. You shouldn't use any supplements, no powder or something, because this easily becomes an excuse, okay? An excuse. And then it's, no, I can't do something because I don't have my powder. Oh, my cream is not there. Or you're just like, I don't know, you're standing backstage and you're creaming your hands and you're just another nerdy performer. I know, you don't want to be that. You know, you want to be ready to go all the time. And also you don't want to mess with your chemistry, physical chemistry here, like with your, you know, and then you always put cream, and then before you know it, you become a cream addict, you know? No, that's what you don't want. And so wet hands, what can you do? You know, yeah, dry them with the way I just did, or dry hands. You know, there's always enough moisture, you say, behind your ear or on your forehead, or just lick the finger, you know, to perform. Or let's do something here with the angle. So let's see what I can do. You know, so your hands are too dry, so you give it a little lick, and before you know it, you should be able to work the magic, yeah? So, and now, imagine I couldn't have done this without my cream. That would be a shame. So, it's the 8 of spades, It's a very, very ambitious card because I put the 8 of spades into the deck. Can you see this? And you know what? Fuck me, fuck you. Ah! It comes jumping back to the top. I was too slow there. So just as I said, don't worry if it doesn't go so well sometimes. It's not the end of the world. Okay. So, I'm completely out of order here. I completely lost track. Yeah, all the magicians are extremely nerdy. I were recognized. And they're all like, the young generation is not reading books anymore. They are all watching tutorials on YouTube. Shame on you. But you know, it's tough. Honestly, guys, let's keep on practicing, everybody. But let me just talk about this for a second. You know, the changes that has come with the internet, this whole revolution of the new media, has such a huge impact on so many fields, and magic is just one of them. And it's really the difference between the 90s and 2015 or 2018. This is, I know for people in card magic before David Blaine, you know, and all of a sudden, you know, there's a different style and stuff, and before you know it, there is live chat, and the guy who sold famously DVDs just yesterday is like kind of old school already. Are you serious? You know, it's really challenging, and also the industry changes a lot, and it's opportunity for newcomers, you know, for aggressive players, for it's hardcore competition, and then some older guys, they're just blown away, and this is the cause of this generation conflict that I'm seeing. I'm glad I'm not involved because I was born 1975, so I'm in the middle of it, you know. I don't care. I'm too young for these old guys, and I'm too old for the young guys, you know. And I believe this is one of my reasons why my channel is growing a little slower than I expected it to be, you know. So, where are you guys watching from? So, because you have been practicing now for almost an hour, you know, and it's also important to just rest for a little time. For 5 minutes or something. I want to know where are you 44 people watching right now are watching from. Yes, I believe. Okay, B. Rapport writes, do you think there are any advantages to learning card tricks through books rather and video tutorials? To books rather video tutorials? Yes, I believe so. Here's the thing. When you there is a certain process of processing in your mind when you try to learn a new technique. So I said this before, you got to figure out what are the subtleties, what are the details, what exactly are the positions of your fingers, what are the muscle movements, and everything like that. And when you read, and this is also true for tricks or routines, when you read this, from the very beginning, you are engaging in a process of imagination. You try to imagine what it is they want from you. And this is something you have to learn or to practice. It's a part of practice to practice this visualization, this imagination, this trying to get this in front of your inner eye. This is extremely important for everything you want to learn in life, for everything that has to do with mechanics and with the handling of your hands, or with artistics, and then also for performing. You know, when you try to perform, when you try to practice performing for an audience, and there is no audience, you have to imagine an audience, and this is like dreaming, basically. You know, maybe anybody. Okay, we're getting very personal here. When you're lying alone in your bed, and you dream of being, you know, of you being the famous magician, and the show that you perform. You ever have this dream? That's imagination, that kind of imagination, and you need to train that. It's very important. And if you read a book for a slide, for a routine or for a trick, you do this automatically, and this is the difference. And I think this a video tutorial or video lectures, they take a little bit of this practice of imagination away from you. So if you only learn with video, you're lacking, you're missing something, and you have to, which you have to practice then in some other way. And I would go so far to argue you don't even need to read only magic books. Every book, every story, every tale you read, practice this brain capacity, or this magic, the magic. Practice this magic, yeah? Reading is very, very important. I truly believe that. However, and that's not me who said it, and I'm not quoting, I'm just paraphrasing, it was Jeff McBride. It was on, I don't know, Sleight of Hand Master, or what's his famous DVD called? It's the 3rd volume, where he says, where he talks about something very similar, and it says, now it's so awesome, you can watch a video and then you see what they're meaning in the book, or and not what they mean, but how it can be performed. And this is that's the plus for video, and that's why it always has been important to view other performers, because when you see, so you read the slide, a certain slide, and then okay, you try to figure it out, and then you think you got it or you don't know and stuff, and then you see someone doing it, it's like that's how it's supposed to look like. I didn't see anything. Yes, really. And that's a huge motivation boost, that to understand that what's written there in the book, it's possible, because sometimes it feels like, and this is why, you know, a younger generation today, I'm just guessing here, doesn't like reading magic books so much, especially when it comes to technique, because when you read that, a new thing, a slide and stuff, and you're like, wow, how's that supposed to, how should I do that? Are you serious? And if you never experienced this, you never really worked on anything really. And then video can really boost your motivation. It's like, okay, it's possible to do that, so I want to do this. That's right. Reading works your imagination. Now, how do you deal with hecklers? Oh man, that's a topic on its own. I don't know. I can't really. That's a really a really tough question. Here's the main strategy. The main strategy for dealing with hecklers is try to get them. What they try is to get into the center of focus, and you shall not grant them. They shall not pass. Okay, that must be your inner. This must be your inner position. When somebody heckles you or try, you know, and sometimes people they don't even mean it in a bad way, but there are some hecklers that they're really nasty. They really just want to see you suffer, you know. They want to make you nervous. They want to bring you down, or they want to be in the center of attention. They shall not pass. This is no, you know, it's not going to happen. And that's the first thing you have to get to be the first thing you have to, that's what you got to be very clear about that. No way, buddy. And then a strategy. But what's now the strategy? How to make something constructive out of the situation? There's usually always the guy, because the universe is there's always balance in the universe, and if there's not, there's trouble. So there's usually always this one guy that really loves what you do, or really just enjoys himself. Somebody who's really loose, and he's ready for everything, and he doesn't care. He just want to have a great time, and you make him the center, the focus, the center of focus. So if you have a heckler, and I had it once. I know just a little story here. And that was so I'm on a party in a house floor, okay, and there's the card guy. You perform a trick, and then I did a nice opener, some easy thing, and then I performed a very, very cool. What I did, I was all the cards go blank. So there was the crowd. I had all them cards go blank. turned the deck back into normal, and of course the crowd was excited, and so here I was in a very dominant position, and this guy to my right who just wouldn't accept it, and he was then calling for attention, and he actually the mistake I did, so I moved to him and I shifted the attention to him. That was my mistake. I should have seen it coming, so I performed for him, and actually when I rewind this thing, what's happening, he was just waiting. He was just waiting for the effect, for the moment, just to smack me. So what happened? I had the spectator, I don't know, have a card select, and I put the card into the hand of the spectator, of this guy. I had another spectator put the hand over it, and then I had the deck go on top, and then the blank card in the hand traveled through the hand, through the top of the deck, like an ambitious card routine, and the blank card in the hand transformed into the spectator's card. It was a very powerful effect, and it was an impromptu thing. It was just like, oh, I'm doing this now. It's just, I got the blank card there because of the blank trick, so I did that. And the effect was, it was like, yes, it was perfect. It was super cool. And then the heckler said, looking straight at me, and he said, the card was lying there all the time in my hand. And he was confusing everybody. Everybody was in this emotion. That was amazing. Everybody was like, "Oh, now I feel stupid because I didn't realize the mistake." That was really nasty. He would really hurt the whole group. Like, and I got super pissed about this guy. I'm getting really angry right now when I think about it. So, however, there was this one guy who still thought this was funny. He was like a guy, hey, we're having magic, and he didn't really realize what happened in a negative experience. You know, there's some people are more consciousness than others, and there's some people that go like, oh, that was really, you know, and they're trying to help you, and then they make it even worse because now everybody feels sorry for you because it didn't work, although it actually worked. Everybody was blown away. Yeah. Now you got me into the story. I gotta finish this now, and then we're good. So I turned my attention. So I turned the attention then to the guy who was having a great time, and I say, no, it's your time, buddy. We do a trick, and then I did the sloppy shuffle. You know, the triumph effect with his card, with his signed card. And dude, he was so blown away, and this guy enjoyed it so much, and so I could recover. I could recover the group. You know, this was very, very. It turned out very well. So with hecklers, do not give them the attention, and if they grab the attention, try to shift it to somebody else who deserves it. And if they give you a hard time, well, then you gotta fight. You know, and the best guys who know how to fight hecklers are stand-up comedians. So just to get an impression for what you can do, type in hecklers and stand-up comedians, or shutting down hecklers, or killing or destroying hecklers, and you find a lot of videos, and some of them are very interesting from psychology, what's going on. However, mind, there's a huge difference if you are performing stage or a close-up, because it's a different group dynamic, you know, and you have another authority on stage. So don't think too much of yourself close up. This can go wrong, you know. Especially if you are an intruder in the group, you know. You always have a better standing if you invited. If you're not invited, you go in like, I want to see a trick, and so it's always a harder standing, and chances to catch a heckler are higher. So now we talked. I answered a couple of questions of you, and by the way, this is very important for me, for you to know. Everything I'm saying in the series here, this is my subjective take on things, okay? Don't take this as the last word for anything. Take this as an input for your own thought process. It's very important for me that we're clear on that. I'm learning every day myself, and I'm far away of being at the end of the road, you know, or calling myself a master or a teacher in the least. I'm just a guy who's very passionate about magic, and I found so many valuable things about my life, about the interaction with people, and about setting goals, getting perspective in life. And so with this little things made out of paper, and I just from the very start I decided I want to document what is happening in my life thanks to magic, and I want to share this with you, with the world, because I really believe that's the only way to make a difference in this crazy world we're living in. Being constructive and productive, doing the things we love, and really focusing on that, and sharing the experience, because that's for me what magic at the end of the day is all about, yeah, next to many other things. I just wrote this the other day on Twitter. My main motivation in magic is to find out what it fully find out what it means to me. That's what it means to me. So a moment of silence after preaching the gospel. And maybe when I think about it, this is also a strategy. What I just said about how to deal with hecklers. You guys, you're working so hard. You know, you're working so hard to be magicians, to perform as magicians. Go out there and be bold and make a stand for that dream. You know, and take that authority and say, "No, I'm doing this. I'm a magician." Okay, it doesn't matter how good you are, because you need to learn anyways, and you get better all the time. And I think this is the only way to get there, what do I want to say, to turn all this effort and all the sacrifice into this reward. And this just belongs to you, and you're the only one who takes it or who leaves it, you know. Of course I'm humble. You know, so one of the stupid things in magic is saying the magician always got to be the smartest kid in the room. You know, that's mainstream bullshit, okay? That's mainstream kindergarten bullshit. It's people who are not evolved emotionally a little bit yet. A magician is always the most humble person in the room, okay? That's the truth. That's at least the way I see it. My children are the damn biggest hecklers. Yeah. Children. Yeah. By the way, I'm not a children's guy when it comes to performing. I don't do children's shows. I'm just too damn scared. I destroy you, these little monsters. They come at you in a group and they eat you up and you have no chance. You just got to run away. I believe children are more intuitive than grown-ups. Yeah, I believe I've said all I wanted to say so far today. I'm not quite sure. So let's recap this here. All the tutorials you need to go deeper into the shuffling techniques, the overhand shuffle, the Hindu shuffle, the in-air in-hands riffle shuffle, this beauty here, and the Faro Shuffle. Oh, let's see how this card now because some cards, they are very decent, but some cards are a little difficult to Faro when they're out of the box, but now they're nice, you know, very nice. So, fuck you playing cards. The Faro Shuffle, all details, all in-depth tutorials you will find here in the description box. In the info cards as well as in the description box. Also, you find in the description box a link to a new web browser called Brave, which comes with an ad blocker and offers for the first time a reasonable solution for the problem of paying content to content creators in a fair manner, especially to smaller ones like myself. Believe it or not, the system, how it's running right now, just doesn't work. So I need to set up Patreon to get some guys of you on board, maybe willing to become a Patreon for monthly little cash, you know, my way for what I'm doing with some bonus content, or you gotta, you know, sell merch and stuff, and I'm just not there, and I don't want to do that. I want to focus on card magic, and this browser is pretty amazing. There's a link in the info cards, and you can test this browser for free. It's for free anyways. But if you test this browser for 30 days, I will get a certain amount, I think $5 or something, in a cryptocurrency called Basic Attention Token, which is the cryptocurrency used in an inbuilt payment system, which might be the solution to this problem of paying content in the internet in a fair way. And if that thing takes off, this will be a revolution. This will change the net as we know it. I believe that, and I'd love to see that to happen. So give it a try. Give it a try. Also, there is going to be a deck giveaway coming up, and I'm giving away the other of the two decks I got of these, and I will tell the story why this is such a emotional connection between me and these cards now, and this is what I'm going to do next here on my channel. It's going to be the 4K subscribers special, guys. Thank you all so much for your support. I will give you now a little time to chat with me a little bit, but overall, we're done here, right? We talked about these shuffles. We practiced this a little bit. I showed you a little trick, a little performance. I completely flashed and ruined my career forever. But it doesn't matter. I believe we had a great time so far. So, what's going on in the chat? That's good. Using your children to as dummies, and they take you apart. That helps. My favorite slide. There's no favorite slide in that manner. There's different possibilities for different means, you know. Always try to find the easiest and the most practical solution for what you want to do. I don't perform non-card magic. Not yet. But there will come the time. Actually, I just talked with so here's the thing. I started pretty late with magic, so I had to make tough decisions, you know. So I said I want to be sleight of hand based close up card man, and I went for it. And there is probably about 1 or 2 more years where there's still things on my list. Before I have reached all the goals that I set quite a while ago, and then there's going to be there's another round of decision making. Will I go for some other props? Will stay close up? Probably yes. That makes a lot of sense with what I did before. But also there is the stage is calling in a certain way, because I did stage with other art forms as a poetry slammer, so to say. A writer and also a musician, so this is something, but you know, stage is something very, I don't know yet. There's so decisions to make. For now, it's just card magic. I've got a tutorial series on the double turnover. Also, you find this on my on the YouTube channel page. There is all tutorial series. You find double turnover tutorial series, and that's where I show the main the most important techniques for basically everything you need. Of course, my favorite, my challenge is the pushover, right? That's the most natural one, the one you will not see, never ever. You will not know that it happens. Well, yes, of course, card magic is great. We all love it, but there are of course other great coin magic is absolutely fantastic too. Yeah, yes, and you know it's. I wouldn't just say it just happened to be in my life that I just love these cards, these things. It's just I connected with them, they connect with me, but I also love coins very much. You got some coins here, look my coins. But coins talk, you know. Ooh, they talk. Oh, now I ruined your ears. Did I? I couldn't hear them with headphones, and now you're all of you are numb. Coins are cool. And what's there? And I saw these linking rings, the linking rings for pocket rings like this size. I'm like, nay, that's cool. That's really cool. I thought that was something where when I saw it, I was like, I think there's 2 products out there, and when you go for it, you know, just have to buy both of them. It's the difference, what works, what doesn't work for you. But isn't that cool? Like, because it's it's for a close-up performer, you know. So you're a card guy, you're doing your card set and stuff. But because you don't start with cards, you never start with cards. You have red silk vanish, you know, no big deal. Or make a little salt disappear in your fist and stuff, and then you card magic and you throw little coins in there, and then what's next? And then you say, oh, these linking rings, man, this is something everybody knows. It's such classic, and it's for the big stage. And then you have them in small. I can imagine this on a bar. I wonder. This is when this came out. This is already years ago, probably, and I saw some really amazing videos. You can do really great, really visual effects with that. That's maybe something I would go for. Really love to do that. When I think about it right now, yeah. So. Yeah, this is the thing. Favorite playing cards, man. I really can tell. I'm using Bicycle most of the time. I'm also a B fan. Now I'm super in love with these Hornet playing cards. But they're more like this expensive cards because limited edition, blah blah. I don't believe at a certain point it doesn't make much of a difference. To be quite honest, it's something most of the people don't like to hear, but it's just advertisement. It really doesn't matter. The only real difference I found is that cards that have more ink on them, they get clumsy or more sticky pretty soon, and there are some qualities in paper, of course, and in thickness, and but in general, with all this a US playing cards company thinks they go, oh, they are this. It's all the same. The rest is advertisement and nerdy magicians, you know. Okay, guys. It's time to go. I just tell you this one story in this context, or my one belief, why I believe magicians or card magicians are so nerdy about their cards. And they have these ideas that only this deck or this deck, and then you have to have a new deck every 3 moons, or you know that you use a deck only for 2 performances, and then it's worn out, or whatever. Every magician has his own, or like you're like total fashion victim. Like Chris Ramsey made a video saying it's very important to have the playing cards the way you look. I don't know about that. There was this other magician, I forgot his name. He a Foreman or something. He's pretty new on YouTube at least. And he's got his channels growing because he's got some amazing performance in his set. And he made a video and he got a lot of heat for it, saying that's bullshit, you know. The only thing I believe is that a red deck is more flashy for a layman than a blue deck, because that's what Divern said. And what's good for Divern is good for me too, you know. So why are magicians so nerdy about their cards or about the thing? Because it has to do something with stage fright. Okay, and the thing is that I believe that people tend to use rituals to deal with stage fright. So backstage, and I've seen backstage in many different forms, you have these people go completely bananas. Okay, I've seen crazy things, and every professional magician or performer knows this one or another way. And there's people there literally throwing up. Like crazy, Niagara Falls, okay? They just lose their shit, and I don't know, or they have candles, they burn candles, and crazy nut, like stage fright, you know? It's like, it's just like for some it's tougher to go out than for others. And you don't have this as a close-up performer, right? Where's the stage? Where's the curtains? Where's these rooms where you can build all the rituals? You don't have those, but you have those cards. And then you start going like, oh, these cards are better than the others, because the last times I performed, there were these bicycles and they were better. And before you know it, you got all these ideas and belief systems. it's a way of self-conditioning or something. It's just a theory I have. Okay. So everybody, what do you think about the theory? Let me know. I have a chocolate, and then it's time to go. Okay. You guys, you are all... What does it mean? Ah, okay. That's interesting. So guys, we are right now, this is what YouTube tells me, 51 people watching at the end of the show, and we got 4 different stream sources or something. Where are you guys watching? Nobody told me, because you're all practicing cards. Who are you? What are your names? How old are you? I don't know, because you're all practicing cards. I've been talking a lot. I shared a lot. I hope this was useful information. I hope you had a great time. I hope you enjoyed this watch, and I hope very much you are tuning in next time. And to make sure not to miss that, you need to, of course, be subscriber to my channel, so that YouTube just at least that the AI just gets the idea of suggesting my videos, you know, because the AI is not always very generous in suggesting videos, yeah? And also that you need to hit that notification bell to make sure that you get this notifications, like OTHMARIUS is doing it again. It's going to be out in 2 weeks or something. I don't have my calendar here. Let me check this out. Okay, I have my calendar here. So it's the 20th. It is probably going to be Sunday the 3rd, probably Sunday the 3rd, in 3rd of June. It's a good time, Sunday, because it's Sunday and nobody's in school, because I have a lot of viewers from the States, and there's a time thing, because the world is round and there's something like this, you know, it's complicated astrophysics and stuff, and so 8 hours time delay or something, and some of you are actually watching kind of in the morning or in the midday, where I am in Berlin right now. It's 10 p.m. It's 22 we say military people. 2200 or something, you know? So it's in the evening, it's nighttime. I will drink a beer to say goodnight, and then I go to bed. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thumbs up, hit subscribe, hit notification, and then see you in 2 weeks for the next live session. And I don't know yet what's going to be. Maybe we're going to talk about flourishes. Would you like me to talk about flourishes? Would you like to practice some flourishes? That sounds like a great idea. Yeah, so that even more people get the word. To get the word out, guys. There's something going down here, and then we will proceed, and then we tackle things like basic card control techniques, more difficult card control techniques, and then we're talking about, you know, all the very important things like performance strategies or building routines and all that. We can do. We can go nuts. Okay, it's a lot of stuff in the planning. I really enjoy doing this. I really love this format. I'm really excited about this incredible technology, being able to sit here in my living in my office, my home office, streaming to the world. That's amazing. That's so crazy. Okay, guys, my name is OTHMARIUS, and this is just what I do. You be sure now, more magical stuff is going to be uploaded very soon. OTHMARIUS Magic. Like and subscribe.